Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Groundbreakers Live. We're going to begin the session very soon. We'll wait for more participants to join. While we wait, please, you can please share where you're joining us from. You can share your name, your location, what you do, and if you have any difficulty during the session, any technical difficulty, you can also let us know in the chat. One of our team members will surely assist you with such difficulty. So let's just wait for more people to join. Okay, well, welcome once again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome once again to GroundBreakers Live 2026. It's a pleasure to have you all join us today. I think more people are joining. From anywhere you're joining us, we'll say a very big welcome to you. So whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, a farmer, a researcher, a developer, or you're just someone who is interested in the agri space or interested in agriculture and what is happening in the future of the sector, you're welcome once again for joining us for today's session. And also, for the next 2 hours, we're going to be talking about the future of the sector, agriculture. My name is Clinton Mena, and I'm the Brand and Communications Manager for the Foundation for Sustainable Smallholder Solutions. We're an NGO based in Nigeria here, focused on improving the lives of smallholder farmers. Today is a particularly special day because we are commemorating the International Youth Day, and it's a reminder for us about how the future of every nation is highly dependent on the opportunities that are created for young people. And for us at the foundation, FSSS, agriculture is one of these opportunities. And for it doesn't mean, to us, doesn't mean just the production of food on the table for its citizenry. It's about creating a platform for innovation, entrepreneurship, and wealth creation to thrive, while also solving the problems that the country faces in terms of food security. So thank you once again for joining. Before we begin, just housekeeping. The webinar is being recorded. After the webinar, recording of this session will be made available to everyone via your email, the email you use to register. Please keep your microphone muted. Feel free to also engage with us in the chat. There's a chat feature. You can engage with us there. If you have any questions, you can also submit your questions in the chat. During the session, we're going to have the opportunity for the speakers to answer your questions, and we'll answer as many as possible as time permits in the Q&A session. So we encourage you all to participate in the chat section. Thank you very much. When we talk about the future of agriculture, technology is increasingly becoming a major part of that conversation. So we're talking about AI, digital advisory to drones, to precision farming, and digital marketplaces. These technologies are changing how we produce food, how the sector is financed, and also how this food that is made in the market is brought to market. So, but in Nigeria today, what we see is a lot of farmers facing major challenges, not limited to access to finance issues, access to inputs, access to market, access to reliable information, and alongside even climate change issues and rising cost of production and post-harvest losses. But the good thing is that in the midst of these challenges is where opportunity lies. And being that as a country we have a large uh, growing population of young people who have the skill, the creativity, and the digital knowledge to develop solutions that can address some of this majority of these challenges. The question now is no longer about if technology can transform the sector, but how can young Nigerians participate and lead that transformation? And that is what the Groundbreakers series is all about. Groundbreakers is a FSSS, the Foundation's youth engagement platform that is designed to connect young people with the ideas, the innovations, and the opportunities shaping the future of agriculture. We want young people to see agriculture not just as, sorry, please. Okay, so what we don't want young people to see agriculture as just farming, but as a space for technology, entrepreneurship, and where they can build a career and also innovate. So today's session, which is the future of food, how technology is transforming agriculture. We are going to explore how technology is changing the agri sector in Nigeria, the opportunities that are emerging in agritech, and how young people can position themselves to take advantage of them. And more importantly, it's going to be a practical conversation. And we have two excellent speakers who will help us explore the questions and make us understand what is happening in this sector. So I have the privilege of having Aisha Rilwanu Sidi as our first speaker. Aisha is an award-winning social innovator, and she's also the founder and CEO of Grabb Livestock, and an AI-powered livestock marketplace, leveraging technology to improve market access, transparency, and efficiency across Africa's livestock chain. She previously founded Fala by Aisha, a social enterprise dedicated to creating economic opportunities for underserved communities through entrepreneurship. She's a Mandela Washington Fellow. She holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, an MBA in marketing. Through her work, she's building innovative and inclusive solutions that strengthen food systems, empower livestock farmers, and contribute to a more resilient and sustainable agricultural future across Nigeria. So let's welcome Aisha. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So also joining her is Akinbami Dayo. He is the CEO, co-founder, and CTO of Agrofount, an agritech company using technology and AI to develop innovative solutions for farmers and the agricultural ecosystem. He has over 9 years of experience in software engineering across agritech, fintech, e-commerce, and energy. He specializes in building scalable digital solutions. At Agrofount, he is leveraging AI to address challenges, including livestock health, farmer advisory, credit assessment, and market access. So, Dayo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, like I said in my opening speech, we understand that agriculture is a rapidly changing sector due to technology. So I want to ask the both of you, what are the changes you're seeing and what excites you the most about the future of agriculture? I'll start with you, Aisha. I think Aisha is having difficulties. Okay, we can go over to you, Dayo.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot to
Okay,
unmute
Aisha is back.
myself.
Aisha, you can go for it.
Okay. So my name is Aisha, like I've been introduced. So to me, the biggest change I'm seeing is that agriculture is moving from being largely informal and fragmented to becoming more data-driven and connected. For example, in livestock, farmers traditionally depend on people within their immediate community to buy their animals or during market days. A farmer may have 10 gold but may not know where the best buyers are, what the current market price is, or how to transport the animals to the buyer. So at Grabb Livestock, we're using tech to connect these farmers to a much larger market. A farmer in a rural community can have access to household, restaurants, and institutional buyers in cities through our platform. I think the future of agriculture in Nigeria will be a combination of tech and human network. AI will help us with things like verification, diseases, and livestock health monitoring, and even pricing and data, while digital platform will connect farmers to markets, finance, and logistics. So I don't think tech will replace farmers. I think it will make farmers more productive, more connected, and more commercially empowered. Yeah, and in turn, it will also increase farmers' income. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Aisha, for that detailed response. So yes, I also agree with you. I don't think technology can replace farmers. It's going to work alongside them. So over to you, Dayo.
Yeah, so you're correct. Technology won't replace farmers. It can only help them scale their output if they have the right knowledge. And the right knowledge have always been through the traditional means over the past few years. So with the trend of AI, having access to platforms that give you access to information that are key to the area of agriculture you are focused in, whether you are focused in livestock farming, we are focused in probably crop farming. Everybody have area of specialization, and you can't know it all. And the ease you how easy it is for you to gain access to those information is very important. You want to be able to access information from your devices like your phone. Let's look at farmers that don't have access to smartphones. We want to have access to information probably from text messages that are being sent to you from time to time, or you can basically ask simple questions in your own language via text message, and the AI powering that system will basically respond to you the best way it can. And if it can't, it can recommend professionals that are ready to attend to you at that point in time. So things are changing with AI. AI can only make things better. And it's not only in agriculture, in other sectors also. In fact, I would say other sectors have been taking advantage of technology more than agriculture. So agriculture right now is not as organized as we have the systems in banks. And I'm very sure that the problem we are facing in agriculture is the problem those other sectors are also facing. But they've been able to solve this problem to a large extent with systems put together, even before the advent of AI. So now that AI is in the picture, it's there's only one way forward, just to make life easy for farmers, irrespective of what aspect of agriculture you are focusing in.
Okay, thank you very much, Dayo. So I like that you mentioned problem because my next question also talks about problem. So from your experience, what are some of the biggest problems that the sector is uh, is facing today? The biggest problem in agriculture that technology can realistically solve today? And where do you think, because a lot of people talk about AI is the hype of the moment. And so where do you think that this technology are still being hyped, being overhyped, that it cannot really perform as expected? I'll start with you,
Okay,
Dayo.
so thank you very much for that question. I won't want to use the word overhyped. Technology, it can only look overhyped if you don't really know how to use it, if you don't really know how to exploit it. Same technology that can give you results of 5 over 100, some people know how to get 90 over 100 out of it. So to those set of people, it's not overhyped. So for the key problems in agriculture that needs to be solved with technology, access to inputs. You as a single farmer, you are limited to what you can see. You are limited to people in your immediate network. But technology has advanced to the point where you have access to the global community. So you have access to inputs, quality inputs. In fact, those manufacturers or providers of such inputs wants to connect with you, but they don't have access to you. Technology can help you achieve that. Secondly, we have a problem in the aspect of access to credit facility. Banks, commercial banks or traditional banks these days are scared of investing in agriculture because of the uncertainty revolving around it and because of how risky it is. But most of them, the way they think, the way they work, they like working with data. They like making decisions based on data, proven data. And looking at the farmers that we have in this part of the continent, most of them don't really keep good records. So we can put in initiatives that encourage farmers to imbibe data keeping culture, good data keeping culture, because that's what will open doors to the credit that they need to scale up their operation. So the other problem that I think farmers are facing that can be solved with technology is access to information, access to knowledge. That's, for example, let's say we are talking about farmers that did not even go to school. They did not know. Okay, most of them finished from primary school without any secondary school knowledge. We should be able to include such farmers in our pool of farmers that wants to give access to information. Like, we shouldn't just leave them out. So and most of them have this experience that they've gathered over the years that have been working for them perfectly. So there are ways that we can use AI to gather those knowledge together, train AI with such knowledge. You can basically, everybody can basically go to ChatGPT now and just ask them ChatGPT any question, and it will answer you based on what it has been trained with. It will answer you not to the context of the Nigerian farmer, even though it tries to scope it down to the Nigerian farmer, but it can't be as perfect as here that are trained specifically for the Nigerian market. So that can be achieved, allow you communicate. So at some point, we're even thinking of an OS that you can have on your device that can basically be your go-to person to answer your marketing questions, to answer your farming, to solve your farming problems, whether you're experiencing any difficulty on your farm. Let's say you are experiencing some symptoms in your poultry farm. You find out that your birds are not eating. You find out that the color of their poo is weird, combined with other features. These are things that, to some extent, AI can help you resolve even before you get access to the actual veterinary doctor. That there are some locations that don't have access to vet doctors. So having access to a tool like this can help you solve the problem to a large extent, not 100%, not 100%. It can help you solve the problem to a large extent so that you to minimize the damage that could have been done because of you don't have access to vet doctors. So these are the problems that I see us solving with technology, and we're actually on the right path. So one other problem that I see that we are encountering is the issue of adoption. Adoption is very key, irrespective of whatever technology you're putting out there.
Before we get to adoption, let me allow Aisha, because there's a broader conversation about adoption. So Aisha, based on your experience, from your experience building Grabb Livestock, what are the practical problems that agritech, AI, and other technologies, the problems that farmers, especially in your line of business, are experiencing in addition to what Akinbami as Dayo has mentioned? I feel like technology can resolve that.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. For me, the most important thing is to stop talking about AI as a buzzword and ask what problem is it actually solving. For example, I actually built my startup, Grabb Livestock, first MVP using AI. Yes, I built my first MVP using AI. And at Grab Livestock, one of the biggest problem we face is trust. You know, when you're trying to get farmers to trust buyers, you're trying to get customers to also trust the farmers that they are going to deliver whatever it is that they list on the platform. The key issue we face is trust. When you're buying livestock remotely, how do you know that the animal actually exists? Whether it's healthy, what condition it is in, and whether what you're buying is what will be delivered to you. So we develop an AI-based health verification system that can analyze images of livestock and assist with health and condition verification. Once a farmer uploads the pictures of their livestock on our platform, we're able to use AI to verify using the body condition, the body mass, and all that. So AI and tech has been able to help us solve this problem of trust. Another thing, tech also help us solve market access, which is our platform. At least you as a farmer in Kano, you can list your product and someone in Lagos can see your livestock and purchase through the platform. So tech also help us solve this market access. Instead of a farmer depending only on the buyer who comes to their village or their village market, they now have access to wider network, just like the other speaker mentioned. So for us, tech is solving very practical problem. Trust, market access, information, like you had mentioned earlier, verification and logistics. And that's the way I believe we should approach agritech in Nigeria. Don't start with tech, start with the farmer's problem and then use tech to solve it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha. So, Dayo, you wanted to talk about adoption, so we'll talk about it now because one of the major issue in terms of the technology is available. We know about the technology, but at the farmers level in the communities where the crops are being raised, being grown, the animals are being raised. These farmers find it difficult adopting this technology since we know that the technology can create opportunities and adoption is a challenge for every farmer. What needs to happen to make these solutions accessible, affordable for these smallholder farmers?
Okay, should I
Dayo,
answer?
let's start with Dayo, please.
Oh, okay. So this has been a very big issue in the agricultural space because over the years we've seen a lot of companies that came up with smart ideas, and at the end of the day, they were not able to sustain operation for more than 2 years because the people you built this solution for, they don't really know how to go about operating it. Most of them don't even see any reason to, you did not give them any reason to want to even go through that route of making their life easier. They've been doing things the crude way. And you as it's normal human being nature, if you are being, if a solution is being pitched to you, the question that comes to your mind is, what do I stand to gain from using? So if we communicate the advantages of this solution to these farmers, and I think that's the job of agricultural extensions, and we don't necessarily need to leave that to governments to as an initiative for the government. You as a company that you have a solution out there, you can have an agricultural extension department that handles the communication of the advantage of these features to your target audience, whether your solution is for livestock farmers, whether your solution is for crop farmers. Take it as part of your responsibility in setting up agents. Okay, let me use the word agent. Setting up agents to go into these target communities, speak to them about your solution, the advantage, whether you want to 5x or 10x their harvest on a yearly basis, and your products can do that for them. Show them examples of where it has been done. And so when farmers see advantage of using your solution, I believe they will be eager to make use of and adopt the solution faster. The other issue is the access to the device, like access to smartphones. Not all farmers have access to smartphones. Some of them are using basic phones that only make calls and send text messages. Your solutions can be built in such a way that it also accommodates such users, where they can just work based on USSD code. They can text, okay, start. Some of them recharge cards on their phone. Some of them use make transfers via that small phone. So you can see that the problem is not really adoption of technology, is the making them see the advantage in using your solution. Making transfers to other banks is very important, so they have no choice. They see the advantage in doing that. They make use of that same technology you are claiming they don't really know how to use. They make use of that same technology to perform those actions. So not all, God has given us very fantastic brain, and I want to believe whatever we see the advantage of doing, we can actually take our time and spend effort in at making sure that we know how to operate those stuffs. So adoption can be made easy if you go down that route. Good agricultural extension, putting your information together to make sure it is easily understandable to your target audience. You don't have to come with big vocabularies that you are speaking to rural farmers, for crying out loud. So you have to just make sure that you get people that can communicate in the language that they understand, and make sure whatever they are communicating to them translates to them having more productive farming cycle. So once farmers see that, adopting your solution is going to be very easy.
Thank you very much, Dayo. Aisha, please, do you have something to add to this, please? Over to you.
I said most of what I've had in mind to say, but what I would just add to what you mentioned is the fact that you should build based on farmers' reality. Don't go and build a sophisticated app that the farmers cannot even use. For example, when we started up Grabb Livestock, we built a web app and we were working on building a mobile app. And the truth is, 50% of the rural farmers that we deal with are not literate. So they don't have digital literacy at all. So we were finding it difficult to get them to use our platform. But then after we went on an accelerator and we got advice from experts, we were advised to develop a USSD platform, which we integrate to our back end with the web app. So our customers. Hello, can you hear me?
We lost you for a moment. You were talking about your customers.
Yeah. So our customers need the web app, but then the rural farmers cannot use the web. Not all the rural farmers, like 50% of them, because of their lack of digital literacy. But then by the time we adopt the USSD, we got like
Hello, Aisha.
can you hear me? I think it's
We
about to
lost you.
network is bad. So by the time we build the USSD platform, we were able to, I think from 2,000 farmers that we had, we're able to onboard over 50,000 rural farmers. That's to show you how building based on farmers' reality increase adoption of whatever it is that you're building. So any startup founder that wants to build should build based off farmers' reality instead of building something sophisticated and then look at your users. For example, we're building the web app for our urban buyers because they need the web app to be able to access these farmers. And then we're building the USSD platform for our rural farmers. And of course, we have agents too that help us in taking the pictures, in ensuring that the verification is done. So build your tech, your agri-tech based off the farmer's reality, and there will be more adoption. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that response, Aisha. Very well detailed. So, what Aisha just talked about is more about making technology accessible, so democratizing technology. And it also leads to my next question, which is about women participation in agriculture. Because going by the numbers, we have the Nigerian agri sector, about 80 to 85% of the workforce is made up by women. And what we see is when it comes to the opportunity, making the financial decisions, making the key decisions in the sectors, we see that number is reversed. You have 80% more men in such positions. So this question is to you, Aisha. So as a woman that is leading an agri-tech business, what has the journey been like? And how has technology created opportunity for you that may not have existed in the traditional agri sector? And can technology itself really democratize and open up the sector for more women participation in key decision roles?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay. So sorry, my network is a bit bad. So my journey into agri-tech started with my grandmother. My grandmother is actually a livestock farmer. She's Fulani. I grew up seeing how difficult it was for them to access market, and that was what pushed me to building what I have right now. So tech has allowed us to create opportunity for other women. We have at Grabb, we have the livestock program, for example. We help rural women. As we're all aware, women are being used mostly as laborers. I don't know if the word is right, but then they don't really have access to owning their own assets. When we're onboarding our farmers in rural community across northern Nigeria, we kind of notice a trend where most of the rural women that are the livestock caretakers are not the owners. They're either taking care of the livestock for either their husbands, their family, their immediate family, or their brothers, but real ownership is missing. And that was what started our livestock, where we support these women, we give them livestock, we empower them, we train them, and we show them how to build business out of livestock farming. So this is one of the opportunities that we've created for women through Grabb. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So for me, tech is not just a business tool, it's an opportunity to change who gets to participate in agri-tech, in agriculture, and who gets to own value within the agricultural value chain. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so just building up on your response. So, if I just assume I'm a young woman, and I don't just want to participate. I don't just want to be a user of agricultural technology. Because yes, you're correct to say a lot of the workforce in the agriculture are women, and they participate in the sector more as day labor and not ownership of assets. So now, as a woman, I don't just want to participate or be a user of technology. I want to be a founder, a professional, an innovator in the sector. So, what particular opportunities in these sectors that are available to young women?
Okay, there are lots of opportunities, honestly, because there are a lot, it's just, hello?
you. Aisha, can you hear you?
There are lots of opportunities in this sector. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think what you can do is you can turn off your video since you are having network issues. So you can turn off your video. Okay, go ahead. Hello? Okay, I think we've lost Aisha. She's having some network difficulties. So I think we'll go to the next question, and that's Dayo. I don't know, Dayo, can you hear me? Okay, so I think I'll just pose the same question to you. So as a young woman in the agri space, what particular opportunities are available to me in terms of uh, technology, the technology has provided for young men in this sector?
Okay, so thank you for that question. So when people hear about agriculture, what comes to their mind is the traditional farming, the physical and hard labor involved in farming, and you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you are limiting yourself to just that part of agriculture. So as a woman trying to get opportunity in the agricultural sector, there are different value chains in the agricultural space that you as a woman can keen into, and you have to perform even the best of us because I've actually seen it. I've seen it happen. Some of our top distributors at Agrofount are women that owns warehouses across different states, and they keep expanding. And these are part of agriculture that we don't see men doing up to that standard. So there are different value chains in agriculture that you can get into. It doesn't have to be the crude part of agriculture, the actual farming. You can be a key distributor to a feed manufacturer. You can be a very big supplier. And this, you don't need anybody to tell you how to, like, as long as you have the knowledge and you have the resources to pull it off, the sky is not your limit. I think that's even the beginning for you. So what I've realized is when we as human, when we have the platform to excel, we tend to make very good use of it. So, and I've seen that over the years when women are given the platform to show what they can do, they actually do stuff beyond our expectation. And I see the 80%, 80 to 20% example that you gave earlier. I see it changing in no time. I see it changing in no time. So yeah, so that's my answer.
Thank you very much, Dayo. So for young people that are interested in technology, interested in AI, and also have interest in this sector, um, what are the basic skills that they need to have, they need to develop to position themselves for the opportunities that you've mentioned that agritech uh, offers in this Nigerian sector, Nigerian agri sector?
Okay, so yeah, in the aspect of techs, just like the way agriculture is very wide and have different value chain, technology is also very wide. I have over 10 years of experience working across different sector of software development across different sector in the Nigeria economy at itself. So as a young woman coming into the tech space, you can look at what exactly are you good at as an individual that you can manage as a person, and you can do it very well. Then that part of tech that you need to amplify what you're already doing perfectly well as a person is what you need to go into. You shouldn't say because someone, a fellow woman like you is going into software development, you also want to go into software development. You shouldn't say because another person is going into project management, you also want to go into project management. You should look inward at what you feel you'll be very good at. And there are different opportunities out there. You can choose to manage agricultural projects. There are project management tools, technology-wise, that can help you perform better than someone that is doing it manually. There are farm managers that are still using Excel sheets or using pen and paper to perform their operation. When there are technology out there that can help you manage operations on farms way more better, allow you more productive. So also, if you want to go into AI, there are basic skills that you should have. You should understand data. AI works very well with data. Like it's an AI that doesn't have enough knowledge about what you're asking it to do, it's bound to give you the wrong answer and give you the wrong output. So once you have understand your data, how to gather it, how to structure it in such a way that the AI will understand, that's even a skill on its own. So, and that's what most tech people are paying top dollar for, having structured data to feed into their models, to train their model and make sure that model becomes more smarter. So you are coming into AI as a young woman, identify, okay, the first point is, like I mentioned earlier, be very good with data. You can start from as little as Excel. Just make sure the data is well structured, and also data is applicable in the different parts. Let's say for finance, for credit facilities, banks need data from your farm for them to know what they can actually give to you as credit. And if they don't see that data, in fact, any bank coming into your farm to support you is coming in blindfolded, and I'm sure most of them don't want to do that. So data is the first thing I want you to work on as a young woman. And once you have that figured out, then you can apply it in any sector of agriculture that you are currently working in. And here is just there to amplify what you already know, what you've already gathered in form of data.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Dayo. So I think Aisha has a network issue, so she is not here with us. I think she's trying to join. While we wait for Aisha to join, or rather, we'll continue the conversation while Aisha tries to join. Um, if you have any questions, please do well to use the Q&A feature to send in your questions. The speakers would have the opportunity to respond to your questions. And I hope that you've been enjoying the sessions so far. Thank you for joining us. We'll go to the next question. Okay. Okay, Aisha is back. So let me. Uh, okay. Aisha, welcome back.
Thank you. So sorry, my network was terrible.
I understand. So, Daya has been able to respond to the questions I asked initially. But if you had something to add, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I would, on young people, right?
So the question was about the specific opportunities for women in the agri sector. So as a young woman who is looking to participate in the sector and using technology as a base to participate, what opportunities, specific opportunities can they take advantage of?
Okay, the opportunities are enormous, especially for young people. Looking at our young population, most of them are literate. So I would encourage young people to develop both like the technical and the business skills, because understanding agric is not just enough. Understanding how to apply tech to improve what our forefathers have been doing is where the opportunity lies. On the technical side, I will encourage them to go into AI literacy, data analysis, digital tools, and product development. And yeah, so just look for an agric let's say look for an agric business, for example, maybe poultry farming, maybe goat farming, maybe guinea fowl farming, and then look into it. What is it about this farming system can I improve, or can I do better than what our forefathers are doing? Because that is where the opportunity lies. You need to understand the problem for you to be able to provide tangible solution to it. And that's where unicorns are built. You build based off problem that exists in your community, based off problem you've perceived in the community that you live. When you try to solve solution to those problems, that's when you find opportunity to even make money out of it. But I also say that understanding agriculture is just as important. If you know AI but don't understand the farmer, you may build something that nobody needs. So I would encourage young people to learn three things. That's tech, business, and the specific sector they want to transform. You don't have to become an AI engineer to participate in AI. Like I told you, I built my own MVP using AI before getting like real developers to build a more sophisticated platform. You need to understand what AI can do and how to apply it to real problems. Um, for example, at Grabb, we're applying AI to livestock health verification, like I mentioned, because we understand that trust is the problem in livestock trading. In even any online trading, trust is the major issue. So just look for that problem and try to solve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aisha. So you've touched on one key thing, which is having ideas and then um, understanding the sector. But there's a key problem that a lot of innovators, young innovators have. They have ideas, but how do they ensure or make sure that those ideas come into reality, turn into either physical products or become a business that you're running? And being that both of you have successfully shipped products, successfully run businesses, for a young person who has an idea to solve a specific or particular problem the farmers are facing in this country, uh, what's your advice for them to move from that idea stage to becoming a physical agri-tech product or business? I think I'll start with you, Aisha.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
So my biggest advice is don't just fall in love with your idea. Fall in love with the problem. Be obsessed with the problem. When I started building Grab, I didn't just assume that because I have built a platform, people will use it. We had to speak to farmers, buyers, restaurants, and other stakeholders and understand what they actually need. You have to continuously remodel your idea to fit whatever solution that you're trying to provide. I'll tell a young innovator, identify one painful problem. Speak to at least 20 or 30 people expressing that problem. Understand how they are currently solving that problem, and then build the simplest possible solution, like the simplest. And most importantly, try to get someone to pay for it, because you can build something that people might not be willing to pay for it. So once you build the simplest one and you get someone to try it and actually pay for it, then that idea is a great idea. Because someone saying that's a great idea is very different from someone saying, here is my money, solve this problem for me. That is when you start discovering whether you're actually having a business or you're just running a hobby. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aisha, for that response. So, yeah, so you fall in love with the problem and not your idea. That is that is good to note. I'm going to write that down. So, Dayo, so you've also built many products over the decade of your experience, and you currently run Agrofront. So, in terms of your experience building products, running businesses, uh, what are the lessons? What have you learned about using technology to solve real problems for farmers? And what would you advise young innovators to consider before even considering their ideas as something viable and trying to develop it?
Hello, can you
Okay,
hear me?
thank you very much, Mina.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear
Aisha,
you.
yeah, we can hear you, but this is to Dio.
Okay. So from my
Yes,
experience,
so,
right?
Hello, Aisha. This question is from is to Dio.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
okay, thank you very much. So, as for what I've learned over my years of experience, even before I started building out Agrofount, I actually learned not to get distracted by the wealth of ideas that I have and make sure I pick the most simplest one that I know the pain point of farmers and just build it out in a way that they will understand first. Because we have lots of like hundreds of ideas. There are a lot of problems in the agricultural sector that needs to be solved with technology. Other advanced countries are already solving this problem, but we are just playing catch up. So if you get yourself overwhelmed with too much ideas, and you end up not solving any. So just pick one first and tackle it to the best of your understanding, and avoid distractions. So what usually differentiates you as the inventor or as the owner of the idea from someone out there is execution. Once you have an idea, have the spirit, like fall in love with that idea to the point where you do everything possible to execute it. So you can have a same idea as your friend, but your method of executing that same idea is different. The likes of, I don't know if you know about Glovo or Chowdeck, they are two different platforms doing basically the same thing, but their execution is what differentiates them, and what their individual customer sees in them is what determine how far they go in the market or what portion of the market share they get to keep for themselves. So don't just have an idea, fall in love with your idea, and also make sure you have enough motivation to execute that idea. So I made a mistake. Okay, when mistakes are not bad, just make sure you learn from your mistake. I made a mistake while developing AgroFund, where I spent months using my years of experience as a software engineer building out AgroFund. So after the week where we're about to launch, it started coming to me that developing the platform is not the only part I should be worrying about as a founder. There are other key parts. How do I even get users? How do I even get farmers onto this platform? Why should farmers come to the platform in the first place? What is my communication like? What am I telling them? Like about what am I telling them about AgroFund? What about the other part about operation, finance? So it goes beyond just building the platform. Okay, you start from the idea, take the next step, execute your idea in a very fantastic way. Make sure you look for the right people with like minds that you can work with. You don't have to do it all alone. I try to do it all alone at some point, but yeah, it's all part of the experience. Get people with like minds. This is what A is bringing to the table. This is what B is bringing to the table, and that way you have a smooth ride from idea stage to execution to the moment where you go live. And yeah, so that's just my experience. And also I'm using that experience not to make sure that I don't make same mistakes in my future endeavor. For example, we have a platform right now called Farmlandly that is meant to solve the issue of credit facility for not just for livestock farmers, for farmers in general. Or even though we are currently in the pilot stage trying to pick specific agricultural sector, not leave it open-ended. So it started as an idea also. Execution is what now matters, and how well you execute it and who are you executing it with will determine the success of your idea and your solution. So that's just it from me.
Thank you very much, Dayo. So, Aisha, so from your own experience building livestock, what are the lessons that you've learned, and what advice would you give a young innovator considering to build develop a solution just like yours? And what are they supposed to know before they dip their leg into the ocean of agribusiness or agritech?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, what's lesson that tech is not just the solution by itself. You won't just build a platform and think, oh, you provided the solution. When we started with the platform, it was easy.
Aisha, we are hearing a static noise. Hello? Hello, Aisha?
Can you hear me?
Yes, there's an interference with your
Hello?
audio. Hello, there's an interference with your audio. We cannot hear you clearly.
How about now?
Okay, it's better now.
Okay. So I said the biggest lesson I've learned is that tech is not just the solution by itself. Because you can get carried away and feel like, oh, I've built this thing and I've made it. When we started building Grabb, it was very easy for us to think about the marketplace, the website, the tech. But we quickly realized that the real problem was even much deeper. You see this thing, trust, the fragmented supply, logistics, market access, and the farmers' behavior. For example, imagine you have like 1,000 farmers, but each farmer has only 5 or 10 goat individuals. You may struggle to like supply a large restaurant or institutional buyer. But if you aggregate that supply through a platform, suddenly you can create a reliable supply channel. That taught me that sometimes the biggest opportunity is not to become the farmer, it is to build the infrastructure that help thousands of these farmers participate in the market. Like it's very easy to build the marketplace, but then how to coordinate these farmers and ensure that your supply is reliable and ensure that you verify this livestock before you even send it to the end users. So like the other speaker mentioned, just build first and then you remodel, you adjust, and then you also learn as you're building. You learn and understand your customers, you learn and understand the vendors and the farmers that you're trying to serve, and then you remodel and keep remodeling and keep remodeling and keep remodeling. So you provide an exceptional solution to your customers. That helps you that sometimes the biggest opportunity for the farmer is to build the infrastructure that help thousands of farmers stay in the market. And yeah, my advice to them is because spend more time spend more time with farmers, listen to them, hear what they want. And so in your own case, if you're not a farmer, just spend more time with them. Talk to them, watch them, see how they do it. Then you understand them, understand what they do when you're talking about them. Allow them.
Um, Thank you very much, Aisha. I think we heard a large part of what you said. I think, but there's still a static noise in the background. I'm thinking maybe it's if you're using an earphone, maybe that's what is interrupting the audio. So we are almost getting to the end of the session. So I'll just ask like two more questions to go. So I like that you guys talked about as a young person, the first thing you should do is to build first, and then once you start building, you'll be able to iterate and make the corrections where necessary. Because I think a lot of people, the struggle with is they're always waiting for the best moment to start building. And the truth is, there's never a best moment ahead. The best moment is now. So it's good to always start first, start now, and then you make those iterations while you keep building. So my next question is about, so as a young person now, I've listened to the both of you and I'm inspired. I want to solve a problem in the agri sector that Nigeria is currently facing. So what problem, uh, agricultural problem that Nigeria is currently facing that you believe presents like the biggest opportunities for young innovators and entrepreneurs? I'll start with you, Dayo.
Okay, thank you very much, Mina. So, like I mentioned earlier during the course of this session, agriculture is very wide. We at Agrofount, when we started out, we look at the entire scope of agriculture. The problem we are trying to solve is the problem of availability of livestock inputs, not just livestock, agricultural inputs in general. So we are coming with a mindset that, okay, let's pick one part, one niche first, solve it to the best of our ability before we scale it into other parts of agriculture. So identifying the problem first, which is what we did, access to inputs. A farmer in Kogi does not have access to quality feed. A farmer in Bayelsa does not have access to quality fertilizer. So access to inputs is one of the major problems that we first saw in the ecosystem and say, okay, let us solve this problem. So as we solved that to a large extent, we found out other problems, access to finance. How do we solve this problem? We started putting together ideas. That idea moved from idea stage to a solution stage, currently in MVP. We solve other problems, access to markets. What do we do to solve this problem? Do we just leverage on the existing market, which we can't do without? We can leverage on the existing market, or do we create markets out of what we currently have right now? Take, for example, poultry farmers. They don't have where to sell their best to, or even the off-takers are taking advantage of their hardened sweat, offering them what does not really demonstrate the effort they've put into the farming circle. So what we do is that, okay, let's create access to market. Let's probably put together different cold rooms, protein stores across different states, so that we will be able to take off these items away from these farmers at a very affordable price. While doing that, also leveraging with the existing stakeholders. When the existing stakeholders see that, okay, there's a platform that is already giving farmers better opportunity, they will also sit up. They don't want to get out of the market. They don't want to be left out in the entire value chain. So they also sit up by offering farmers better pricing for their products. And at the end of the day, we're all achieving the same goal. So agriculture is very wide. Pick up, don't try to do everything at once. They say jack of all trade and master of none. Don't pick up everything. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with all the different problems in agriculture. Pick up one and expand or scale into other sectors as you get better. So that's it, Mina.
Okay, so thank you, Dayo. So I hope Aisha will be able to help me like pinpoint this. So because what I want to be able to understand that as a young person who's already inspired by today's talk, because for example, there are so many challenges facing the sector. Because talking about climate change affecting how farmers can produce food. We're talking about post-harvest loss in particular, where if you go to Benin, for example, during the harvest season of oranges and mangoes, you see a lot of them wasting away. So as a young person, who see who has identified this problem. I don't know, Aisha, what are the problems you feel like a young person today is in this session can pick up and try to address in the agri sector?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, you can go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much for bringing up the whole agri post-harvest loss and Benue, the whole climate change, how it's affecting agriculture, not just in Nigeria. I think it's a global thing. So I think for any young person listening, this is an opportunity for you to create solution. We've seen how in other countries they are either providing drying technology to dry all these fruits and then export them or sell it to processors. So this is an opportunity for every young individual to look at these problems that we are having. For example, Nigeria is the highest producer of shea nuts, but then most of these shea nuts we export them. Some of them even get rotten, and then we just throw them and all that. So just like the fruits, just like the shea nuts and many other agricultural products that we're blessed with in this country are going through all these post-harvest loss. Farmers are losing money. And then today we'll be saying, oh, there are no job opportunities, or there are no opportunities here in the country. This is to show you that the opportunities are out there. It's left for you as a young individual to seize the opportunity to try and provide solutions to these problems that we are having. There are so many agri-tech that I've seen. They've used solar to provide drying for tomato, for example. There's this startup called Palmac Tomato. He used solar dryers to dry tomatoes and process them into powder. And from Nigeria now, I think he's selling even in Ghana and other African countries. These are examples of agri-techs that have solved real solutions to farmers. So you as a young individual, sit down, carry your phone, check ChatGPT. How can I provide solution to this post-harvest loss that is happening in Benue? If you're in Nasarawa, if you're in other part of the country, look within your locality, look within your community. What is the post-harvest loss happening? What area or what sector are we having problems with? And then try and provide solution. That solution is your source of employment. That solution, you can use that solution to employ more youths and provide opportunities for them. So youths, get to work, carry your phone, Google, use ChatGPT, use AI, use tech, and provide profound solutions to your community problem. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much, Aisha, for that detailed response. So I think this will be my final question before we go to the questions from the attendees. And this question is just, so now I've listened to you as a young person who's watching. Now I've decided I want to build a career, a business that deals with agriculture and technology. What should be my next move? What should I do next? Should I enroll in the school? Should I start seeking capital? Or what should I do? Or doing research? What should I do next as a young person? I'll start with you, Dayo.
So, as a young person, I will encourage you to start small. Um, Even if you have the capacity to start on a large scale, please try not to make that mistake. Start small, test the market, test your ideas, and when you fail, failure is allowed. When you make mistakes are allowed. Learn from that mistake, and let that learning serve as a layer of experience that you can't learn from school. Let that serve as a layer of experience that you can't get from one professor or the other. So start small, make mistakes within a short period of time. When these mistakes and knowledge pile up, they become unique experience that will be fused together into the final solution that you are building. So as a young person, pick an idea, start small, on a small scale. So that, in fact, there are some people that will see you, there are some investors that will see you starting on a small scale, and they see that, okay, this particular idea can scale with the full support that they can bring on board. So yeah, so I would just encourage you to start small, and you scale based on your experience.
Thank you very much, Dayo. So Dayo has told us you start small, make mistakes, and also learn from those mistakes. So Aisha, from you, so what should a young person listening to this webinar do next in order to build a career in agri and technology?
Thank you very much. For me, I would say go into the field. Don't sit in your room trying to imagine what farmers need. Go and spend time with a farmer. Go to a market. Talk to a restaurant buying agricultural products or any customer buying agricultural products. Talk to a processor. Understand where the money is being lost, where the people are struggling. Then ask yourself, can technology make this problem cheaper? Can it make it faster? Can it make it safer or more profitable? And then start small, just like you mentioned. Start small. We don't need to build the next big agritech platform in one day. Solve one problem for 10 people, then 100 people, then 1,000. Nigeria doesn't need technology for technology's sake. We need young people who understand our problems deeply enough to use tech to solve them. So my advice is simple. Start with the problem, go to the field, build something people need, and keep learning from the people you're trying to serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aisha. Thank you very much, Dayo. I want to thank you both for such an insightful discussion. We've come to the end of the session, but we have some questions from the attendees, and we'll do well to attend to them. So the first question is, I'll direct this to Dayo. He says, good morning. Strategically, what can we put in place for smallholders or rural farmers to be seen? Hold on. Okay. Strategically, what can we put in place for smallholder rural farmers to be seen as though they are the grassroots of agriculture? So I think this person wants to know what strategic things we can put in place to reach the grassroots farmers in Nigeria, directly out where they are, because I think he was talking about that technology adoption could take the okay, it's a continuation. So he said, how do we? Let me take a question again, please. So strategically, what can we put in place for smallholder farmers to be seen as though they are the grassroots of agriculture? For technology before adoption could take place, how do we navigate, or how does those in that area of low network connectivity? Oh my goodness. So I think, let me just rephrase the question. The person wants to understand, how can we get to the grassroots farmers? What can we put in place? What strategy can we put in place to get to the grassroots with the technology that we've developed? Over to you, Dayo.
Okay, thank you for that question. I think the question was asked by Afiz. Okay, there are different approaches to this. Saying rural farmer doesn't give a full scope of, okay, what are they actually farming? What are they? Cassava farmers? Are they yam farmers? Are they potato farmers or groundnut farmers? So irrespective of whatever kind of farmer you are, when the company is coming to you with a solution, what will be at the back of your mind is, what do I stand to gain from this solution? So as a company, as an agritech startup, you should be able to answer that question to the best of their knowledge. And to be honest, what's at the back of their mind is, how do they profit more? How do they increase their yield? Not just increasing their yield, how do they get the right naira? Let's say you're selling in naira or you want to export. How do they get the right value for their harvest? And if you're able to answer that question, able to give them 2x, 1.5x, 5x, of what they've been using, of what they've been getting, because most of maybe their previous harvest got bad and everything was a waste. So you have a solution for that. They will be ready to listen to you. They'll be ready to listen to you. So a farmer can have 10 acres of land and can only farm, let's say, 1 acre out of it. The farmer wants to make very good use of his entire farm. How can you help? So companies that have solutions to this can actually penetrate into this market, because farmers would love you to come with any form of assist, any form of credit facility. You don't have to give them naira, you don't have to give them money. Come with the fertilizer, come with the seed, and when it's time for harvest, make sure you offer them the right price. I was speaking to one of the stakeholders in the poultry industry recently, and he spoke about how agritech companies try to come into the poultry industry with millions of dollars, and they try to support them with their farm operation. And at the end of the day, when it's time to harvest, they take over 80 to 90% of the profits, meaning the farmer end up getting just 10 to 15% of the profit after toiling, like after wasting his or her time and energy. So at the end of the day, they try to shortchange each other. So such farmers are waiting for such investors to come so that they can shortchange each other, and eventually the agri-tech startup eventually run out of business because they're not getting the expected output. Are expecting ROI from farmers. You as a rural farmer, you don't want to just toil for anybody. You don't want to just allow somebody to come out of nowhere, pack all your profit, pack all your harvest. So how do you work? It has to be a partnership thing. It has to be a partnership thing. You still own your farm. You still own your produce. This is the cost of what the input we are giving you. You already know the cost of the input. This is how much we want to buy your product when it's time for harvest. It's a matter of agreement. So once that understanding is there, I believe rural farmers will have a lot to gain, and also the agri-tech startup will also have a lot to gain. Be transparent as much as possible. Communicate in the language they understand. Let them know let it be clearly written, so that they don't feel cheated. In fact, when it's time to, when you as an agritech founder, when you see the market trend and you saw that, okay, the value for this particular product has skyrocketed, communicate that to the farmers. They will be happy to continue working with you. So that's the only way I see things moving forward in terms of collaboration between agritech startups and rural farmers.
Okay, thank you very much, Dayo, for the response. That was very detailed. So I think this question I'll direct it to Aisha. This is from Umukutum Baba from Bombay State. He says he's a founder of Arewa Bloom Commodities, an indigenous food ingredient processing and value addition company. So he said one of the major challenges facing is market access and language barrier, as most of the solutions he has built are in a language that many of his people do not understand. So I think he wants to know how can he navigate this challenge that he's facing. Do you have an advice for him, Aisha?
Thank you so much for the question. Before I answer that, I just want to add to what the other speaker mentioned regarding the other question. So, as an agri-tech founder, don't just walk up to a rural farmer like in their farm. Try and go to them through their community leaders, their they have cooperatives. Approach them through those channels, because sometimes there will be conflicts, and then you as an agri-tech founder, you will just find yourself, maybe they will run away with your money or something will happen. So don't just walk up to farmers just like that. Try and reach them through their community leader, their cooperatives, and then above to whatever agri-tech solution you're trying to provide for them. Just protect yourself, protect your business, and also to avoid unnecessary conflicts. Then answering this hello, can you hear me? Hello.
hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. So for market access, I think if you're looking for market access, that has to do with visibility. Once you have a product, you have to leverage the use of social media, the use of radio like media. It depends on who you're trying to access the markets, the kind of market you want. Are you trying to access individuals? Are you trying to access businesses? For example, commodities, most of their it's either you're trying to sell to like maybe big processors, like let's say Bois, Dangote, and the like of them. I don't know what particular commodity you're selling. So it depends on your own business model. Is it a B2B model or a B2C? If it's B2C, I think the best place is social media. Try and get that social media visibility, run ads and likes of them, and then attend conferences. And then when it's B2B, you have to have a team that will actively approach these B2B customers, submit proposals to them, try and have your own startup value proposition. What are you offering that is better than what is existing in the market? So you need to get your value proposition right and then approach the customers that you're trying to approach. And then he mentioned, what's the second one? Sorry,
So he said language barrier.
Okay, language barrier. So if maybe he would have been specific. If it's Hausa, you need to get Hausa marketers. If it's or Hausa agents to be able to speak to the customers, or you can make your solution in Hausa. For example, our USSD is both in English and in Hausa because most of our users are Hausa speakers in far north. You understand? So you have to provide your solution in the language that you understand. You won't be building something for someone that cannot read, Abi cannot understand the language. So it's good to, and that's where AI comes in. Some people have their solution in English, which is the general language that most solutions are built. And then they'll have an AI that is translating to them in a form of audio, and then it will be able to communicate with those people. So try and leverage AI and then try and see if you can build in the language of the users that you're trying to provide this solution to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha. So the next question, we'll take two more questions and then call it a day. So this question is from Enoch Eli. I'll guide this to Dayo. He said, as a recent crop production and protection graduate, interested in both practical farming and agri-entrepreneurship, what would you recommend I focus on over the next 2-3 years to position myself at the intersection of crop production, technology, and sustainable agriculture?
Okay, so I would like to question back to him in another way. What is he currently doing? Has he started anything yet? Is he already into production of the crop, or is right now into the processing of the crop, or into the marketing of the crop? So there are different, you have to understand, okay, in the next 5 years, you want to be one of the top marketers of this particular crop, or one of the top exporters of this particular crop, or you want to be one of the top producers. So you have to identify which part of the value chain do you actually want to end up being the best at what you're doing. Like when people are looking for who will help them out in that particular aspect, the first person they will think of is you in the next 5 years. Once you identify that, then there are a series of steps. Like I said, Rome is not built in a day. You can't suddenly, there are people that are currently there right now. So what are they doing right now that you feel you can do better? So you can start small, like I said in my last and the last answer that I gave, and gradually just plan yourself out. Next 1 year, this is what I want to achieve. Next 2 years, this is what I want to achieve. But first thing you should do, identify where you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on the production, the processing, or the marketing? So once you are able to figure that out, the rest should be an easy journey for you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dayo. So the last question, I'll direct this to Aisha, is from Ashim. Suleiman from Kebbi State. He said he has developed an MVP solution for that helps smallholder farmers in his community to log into a web app and upload their produce where buyers can buy this produce and through this solution, he also provides access to seeds, fertilizer, and also agricultural extension services. So he wants to know how does he scale up his business from Kebbi and go national. So I don't know. Do you have any advice for him, Aisha?
Okay. Thank you for the question. I think for scale up, that means he needs to access market outside Kebbi for him to be able to scale up like his MVP from Kebbi to other parts of the country. So he needs to actively look for markets in wherever it is that he's trying to scale up to. And also, I would encourage any startup founder, not just him, to try and apply for opportunities in terms of accelerator that all these development partners, for example, there's the IUT Africa, there are so many other ones. So these platforms, these opportunities and fellowship and accelerators kind of help a startup founder move from point 1 to point 2, point to point 3. They provide you with training. Apart from training, they provide you sometimes with access to market, and then they provide you with validation when it comes to what you're building. Because most of them, you see, they are experts, and then they help you remodel your business model in a way that is sustainable for you to move outside your locality, because not all MVPs are scalable. So you need to apply for opportunities, actively look out for agritech opportunities or business accelerator opportunities and fellowship. This will be a stepping stone to help you to access bigger markets, to also help you to expand nationwide and maybe globally. Yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aisha. Thank you very much, Dayo. To Umukutum Baba, who asked if it would be possible for you a platform for you to register for mentorship and all. Just follow our social media and do FSSS Nigeria, and we have something coming up. That is the reason why we exist as a foundation is to provide solutions, connect young people to the knowledge and the solutions that they need to thrive in the agri sector. So just stay with us, and there's something we're rolling out very soon. I won't let the cat out of the bag, son, but just stay with us. And yeah, so we've come to the end of today's session. I want to thank you both for joining us. But before we go, I don't know if any either of you has one last piece of advice, one final advice for the young people that attended today's webinar. Aisha, Dayo, I don't know if you have any final advice.
Yeah, so we're currently in the 21st century, this 2026, and you all agree with me that Nigeria has been left behind when it comes to technology, and most especially in the agricultural sector. Sometimes when I see documentaries of what the Chinese guys are doing in the different part of their agriculture, when I see what they are doing in Italy, when I see what they are doing in Germany, and I say, okay, when will we get to this stage? So it all starts with one small step. It all starts with one small step, and it can be done by one single individual. It can be done by one single individual. Sometimes when I look at what I need to do to cover the market that I'm even interested in, I see that it's quite a lot. So when we have young minds, when we have young startup founders that are interested in bringing up solutions, It's going to be a very great addition to the entire agricultural ecosystem. And at the end of the day, all the solution combined is going to be a big plus to Nigeria as a whole, not just to Nigeria, to Africa as a whole. So just start, then iterate. Before you know it, in fact, most companies, most investors these days just tell, okay, if you're not up to 2 years, they are not even interested in speaking to you. How will you get to 2 years when you've not even started? So start small, and before you know it, you would have gained a wealth of experience over the years. And one key point: don't give up. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated out of the market. There are different players that will try to frustrate you out of the market. Please don't give up. That's why the other co-speakers mentioned falling in love with your ideas. Once you are in love with your ideas, even the idea of giving up won't even cross your mind. So don't give up, keep iterating, and before you know it, you are there.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dayo, for that final piece of advice. We've lost Aisha, so as we come to the end of today's session, I would like to sincerely thank our speakers, Akinbami Dayo and Aisha Rilwanu Sidi, for sharing their knowledge and experience, practical insights with us. We're really grateful. For engaging a conversation, for inspiring the next generation of agricultural innovators. We are grateful to you guys for joining us and honoring our invitation. So to everyone who joined us today, I want to say a very big thank you for being part of our GroundBreakers Live 2026. The journey doesn't end here. But we hope that today's discussion has shown that agriculture is no longer just about farming, that it is about innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, and solving real-world problems. And this is exactly what the future of GroundBreakers seeks to build. So the journey doesn't end here. We implore you to join us for day 2, where we'll be talking about building profitable agribusinesses in the digital age. We'll be joined by Lanre Bamsanta and Sheyi Alabi Paul, who will share practical insights on building sustainable businesses, accessing markets, leveraging technology, and growing successful agribusiness. So it's going to be a very practical section. So if you haven't registered, we encourage you to do so. Invite a friend, a colleague, or anybody to join us tomorrow. So once again, thank you for spending your morning with us. From all of us at the Foundation for Sustainable Smallholder Solutions, thank you for joining GroundBreakers Live 2026. Thank you very much to the speakers for honoring the invite. Do have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Goodbye.